it's Erin and welcome to London vlog, one and only that I am doing because I was a huge goober and just didn't do it while I was actually in London. I'm minimizing things. Hold up. Hold. I wasn't planning on doing any vlog things, and then I got a whole bunch of tweets and comments asking me where my vlogs were because Dodger and Jesse were uploading like responsible people and doing amazing content, and I was like, I'll just tweet about things, which was really silly because it's my first time out of the country. You'd think I would have wanted to capture that on my own, but I don't usually do this vlogging thing, so I think I just didn't even think about it. I thought that since I didn't do anything like that, that I might as well still come home and talk about it because it's still up there, so I might as well do this for you guys, and so many people have requested it. Yeah, like I said, this is one of my very first times vlogging, so I'm gonna try and do as much of it boom, straight through, but I might not be able to. So if there's a cut, it got awkward. It got ox if there's a cut. Welcome if you are here from Dodger or Jesse's channel. They were amazing travel partners. So I welcome you guys if you came here. See, that's what I'm talking about when it gets awkward. If you guys are here from their channels, thank you so much for coming over to check me out. I know that I don't really do the same kind of content as them. I'm more of an anime nerdy stuff. So hopefully you guys find stuff that you enjoy and you will enjoy me recapping my own London adventures or my perspective of it since I was pretty much with them 100% of the time. Where do I start? I don't even know. I guess I could start about me and how it's my very first time going out of the country. If you guys didn't know, it's my very first time going out of the, It's my very first time going out of the country, which was so exciting. I have not traveled very much. I'm not very traveled, not well traveled, if you will. Never even been to Canada, never been to Mexico, never been anywhere out of the country. So this was a huge experience for me just because it was so many firsts, and I have a list of most of my firsts that I did, excuse me, but Dodger has it, and she is still in England, so I have a picture that I can tweet later, because there were a lot of firsts. If I can remember some. First time going out of the country, first time going to England, first time on a Virgin Airlines plane, going along with that, also first time in premium economy, because if you guys don't know, Jesse Cox is a sweet talker, and he got us bumped up to premium economy with no extra cost, which was the bee's knees. It was my very first time on a plane that had 3 rows. Usually I'm on those really tiny, compact, two-row things. Not this time, mofos. First time, see, this is why I need the list. Wait, I can read it. Hold up, guys. I can read it from my phone. Okay, hold on. Daddy texted me, you're not what I want right now, but I love you. Let's see. First time with passport. Yes, this I was so excited about. It was my first time getting a passport sticker. I have 2 stickers now. It's my first time getting the stickers. It was my first time getting a passport in general. There's my awesome pic. First time getting these stamps, which I had to contain my excitement when they were checking us in because I didn't want to draw any suspicion to us. Not that we were doing anything suspicious, but I just didn't want to draw it to us. Where's my water? This one is my water. And so I had to contain my excitement when he stamped it. And I was there with Dodger. I was like, I got my first stamp. I'm so excited. Every single thing we did, I was just overwhelmed with so much joy, which is why in everybody's videos you just see me running off into doing things or just standing there in a complete wonderment because everything just thrilled me to my core. First time in bed with Dodger. Multiple beds happened with us. First time getting lost in London. Yes, there were so many. These were all Jesse's contributions, which was awesome. We all kind of shared because we're friends. So this has all 3 of our handwritings on it. So it's a special memory. I will be sure to tweet that picture again. I tweeted it like a dummy. I tweeted it while we were still staying at our hotel in London, and that actually had our London hotel name on there. So I was like, whoops. I don't even know what my favorite thing is. I think my favorite place that we visited was Bath, even though we weren't there very long. I think my favorite part of that was just how pretty it was. Maybe it wasn't my favorite place that we visited, but it was definitely, in my opinion, the prettiest, just because the architecture, the stones were so gorgeous. Lol. Apparently, my webcam has a stopper, and it stops at like 10 minutes in. What was I saying? Architecture, bath, architecture in the bath. I just love architecture so much. It's very attractive to me. Not in the way that I want to like go dry hump a house or anything, but it's very pleasing to my eye. Like it's very, very, very eye pleasing. And so Bath was just absolutely gorgeous. The abbeys, all of the churches, are they called? Is there a difference between abbey and church? I could just Google this, but I'm gonna ask you guys, and hopefully you guys won't judge me. But they were so pretty. It blows my mind that those have been around for so long, so many years. The same with Westminster Abbey and Big Ben, Tower of Victoria, all of that, Parliament. Those buildings have been there since like a long time, years, hundreds of them. And that's just amazing because they're still there. I know that I built anything 100 years ago, like, no, more than that, like 900 years ago, it would probably not be standing anymore. It's just incredibly impressive that the structure of those was so sound that they're still here for people to enjoy today. And that is just mind-blowing to me, which is, I think, a reason that I appreciate it so much. Which I'm sure I think a lot of people do. It was just so pretty. It was all so pretty. All of it, not just Bath, all of it. London was gorgeous too. What is my headband doing? I was talking about this on one of Dodger's videos, the alleyways. There was all these things in the alleyways. Like, I don't know if it was just because we were in Piccadilly Circus. I learned it's not Piccadilly Square. People have yelled at both Dodger and I. We know now. Piccadilly Circus. I don't know if it's because we were near all of that. Like, I don't know if the suburbs are the same way because we didn't really adventure out any further than that. Like, we went to Baker Street. But other than that, they still kind of were the same thing where even when you're walking down alleyways, like you turn down a random alleyway, there's still shops and gorgeous apartment buildings and cobblestone and just all these things. Like, you can find something down every single one. It was like finding little presents around every single corner. And I just loved the old-timey Victorian look of a lot of places. I think Victorian is a good word for it. It was just so different from anything else I had ever really experienced. Like, I think the closest to anything I had ever experienced like that beforehand was there is a very old, I'm originally from Lincoln, Nebraska, like I said before, and there is a very old-fashioned part of Lincoln where there's like old railroad tracks, like trolley tracks and cobblestone and just a lot of these old-fashioned tiny buildings, and it's called the Haymarket. And that's what it reminded me of, was the Haymarket in Lincoln, Nebraska, which is a very small part of Lincoln, Nebraska. It's like one road.
Hi. Hi, Derpy. How's it going? I'm just talking about London. Hi there.
Oh, we're turning. Oh man, what am I trying to say? Derp is just so pretty. So pretty. Yeah, like, it really reminded me of the Haymarket of Lincoln, Nebraska, but it felt more authentic just because I know how much older it is. And so Bath was pretty. I love the alleyways. That's like I said. Alleyways are great. Piccadilly Circus was super awesome because even though I live in LA, I hadn't really experienced anything like that either with the huge screens. We would just walk by those and I was just entranced because it was bright lights everywhere. And there were so many like off-corner restaurants and shops and boutiques, coffee shops that I wanted to go to every single one. But your stomach can only handle so much food before you realize it's a bad idea. Sorry that this is getting all rambly. I get very rambly because I don't really follow my train of thought, so I really apologize for that. Wait, okay, let's see. I talk about the architecture. First time seeing London snow. It snowed. That was awesome. I had not seen snow in a really long time. Well, since Christmas, but it's a long time. Whatever. I'd never seen snow in London, so it was different. And it was so cool. It was such cool snow. It was like, I think it was because it was a little bit warmer. It was those very heavy flakes that almost look like powdered sugar or fake snow just falling from the sky, and they stuck. It made me laugh so hard because it like just stuck to all of our hair as we were walking around, and it stuck to Jesse's beard. It was hilarious to me. I don't know why. So I got to see London snow. And speaking of the snow, the weather, I really liked the weather. Everybody before we left was telling me that I need to bring all of the layers. So many layers. Water at my nose. Oh, flop. All the layers because it was so cold and brisk and nipply out. And, you know, it wasn't that bad. I do think that it wasn't as cold as I was expecting it to be, but it was definitely different from LA weather. So it was brisk once we got to Stonehenge. Stonehenge was the worst weather day just because I was underdressed in the shoe department and my toes already get really numb easily, so that was dumb, but I don't know why I'm doing this. It was also very, very windy. There was lots of wind and it was very cold. All of our pictures, we just look like really miserable, but yeah, so Stonehenge I think was the worst weather day, and also Stockholm, I almost said Stockholm, that's wrong. Southampton was really chilly. But those two I think were the worst weather-wise, but even then it wasn't too bad. It was a nice change of pace. Like I love living in LA. I like the warmth, but I also really like different weather. Maybe it's just Nebraska in me, because Nebraska weather is so temperamental. It changes rain to 80s to snowing in the same week. It's ridiculous. So I think I'm just used to that. Maybe that prepared me for England's weather, but I really liked it. Okay, I talked about the architecture, those beautiful buildings. Let's actually, okay, I know what I want to talk about. First I'm going to minimize so I don't look at my shelf. More building shiz, but I wanted to go back to London stuff since I talked about all the buildings, but I didn't talk about specifics. We got to go into Westminster Abbey. No pictures because I don't allow any pictures in there, which is totally fine. We stood in line and we had something that was the norm for us was we wanted to go see all these really cool tourist sites. And we'd only get there for like an hour before they stopped taking people or an hour before they closed. So we were constantly rushing around looking at everything. But we still got to enjoy a lot of it, which is totally fine. So it always worked out. But yeah, we got in line for Westminster Abbey. And that I was so excited about. Just because it was one of those buildings that I always learned about in textbooks. I always saw it. Oh, bless you. The puppies are in here with me now because they were making all sorts of noise in the other room. The Westminster Abbey was something I'd read about in all sorts of textbooks and in history classes and just all over the place. And so getting to see something that I had always known was there and has been there for so long, has so much history behind it, was super duper dazzling for me. It was really cool. I loved, this is going to sound weird, but it was really cool to walk over all of the tombs. That's what they are, right? The stuff on the ground. Reading all those is really interesting to me. I didn't know, like, the majority of the people whose names are written in those from so long ago, the early 1300s, 1200s, however long it's been around. I didn't know, like, the names, majority of them, like, out of the however many people are there, I didn't recognize more than a few of the names, except, like, the big ones that have made it over into, like, American history learnings classes. I don't know what I'm trying to say. So I didn't recognize a lot of them, but it was really cool to read about. I've always enjoyed This might sound a little morbid. Okay, just bear with me. I've always enjoyed reading tombstones of people I don't know, is because it's really interesting to imagine what kind of people they were, like how they lived, what their family was like, who they were as a person, what kind of things they experienced. That kind of thing has always been very interesting to me to think about. So seeing some names that are like a 10-year-old or that they were able to perform for the king and queen, and that's what earned them a place there. I thought that stuff was really neat. And it was also really cool to see the stuff chiseled out, and where there was a mistake, they like tried to unchisel it, or if there wasn't enough room, and they put like, I remember there was one that was like his enchantments, but they couldn't fit the whole word on there, so it was like enchant, and then up in the little corner was mince, like this big. It was so funny. Jesse and I laughed about that so hard. And so that was really cool, getting to see those tombs things. And my favorite part of that was the Poets' Corner, just because I adore Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens was my favorite author that we learned about in AP Lit in high school, 11th grade. Tale of Two Cities is still one of my favorite books, actually. So getting to see, I don't remember if he's actually buried there or if it was just a memorial stone, but getting to see his was one that we went in there and I learned there was a poet corner that I was like, I want to find Charles Dickens, he must be there. Getting to see his was my mission. Dodger found it and made sure I saw it, and I was so happy. So getting to see that was super cool. And the Shakespeare monument was also really neat. And Chaucer's story about, like, when you go into Westminster Abbey, for those of you who have never been, you get a little audio phone. And so for each, and Jeremy Irons speaks to you in it, and his glorious voice is just so great. And you, for every stop, there's some numbers. There's a number, and you press into the audio phone, and it tells you a whole spiel about the history and stuff. I don't remember half of what I learned on there, but it was really cool. It's a really cool setup. They did that at Stonehenge, too, but Stonehenge was a little bit harder to listen to because of all the wind. But they did that at Westminster Abbey, so that was really neat. You got to go and just listen to history of each point. There was like 14 points, I think. And so they did that for Poets' Corner, and they talked about Chaucer and his whole history and how he ended up getting buried there. It was really cool, getting the memorial stone. I thought was really neat. Just imagining all the things that happen there and all the people that are there and how many years that's been there. It's ridiculous. I cannot believe it. There's things there that are from the 1200s, 1300s. I wasn't even a thought in anybody's brain then. There were people there. How many people have walked in and out of that building? Does anybody know? Because I want to know. That's super cool to think about. I'm like history nerding out here. I don't retain, this is something about me. I don't retain things very well because I have really bad memory, but I always love hearing them and like looking things up in the history. I may not remember them, but I love hearing them. I'm sorry if I keep messing with my headband. It just feels like it's constantly gonna just pop off. But yeah, I love learning about the history even if I don't retain the information. So just getting to hear all of that information about Westminster Abbey was really cool, all of that history. And it was just so pretty. I just can't believe how pretty it was. I'm just starstruck. Westminster Abbey is like if I had met my favorite, who is my favorite? If I had met Jensen Ackles, I feel like I would have been just as flustered remembering that as I am remembering Westminster Abbey. Is that weird? It's probably a little weird, but it just was so pretty. I cannot believe I got to witness that. I got to go in there and see that and touch stuff there. Some things I probably wasn't supposed to touch, which was a reoccurring theme on this trip. Jesse, I do not know how many times I would run off, or there were signs like, please do not ring the bell, and I wanted to ring the bell because, you know, nobody was around, but I would just run off and try and do things. He was just like, no, Erin, no, stop, where are you going? Erin, where are you going? Erin. It was so great to me. He was like my father on the trip. Don't tell him I said that. But he was fantastic. Yeah, so Westminster Abbey was really cool. We got to go outside Buckingham Palace, which was really neat. It's so big. It's huge and really gorgeous. I cannot imagine living in that place. There's a lot of space in there, I'm assuming. So that was really cool. We got to walk over there. We walked through Hyde Park to get back to our hotel, which was really pretty. Parks are nice. Parks are great. What other architecture did we see? Bristol had very pretty buildings as well. I'm back to talking about the architecture. Okay, no, I'm not going back there. I already talked about this. This video is going to be so long. Okay, what else? I talked about that. Oh, there's the changing of the guard place. Is that a thing? My phone sounding like, it's sounding as if I got it right. It's like a sign from God telling me that I got it right, but I don't know if I actually did. It's the place that if you watched Jesse's vlog, he said was TB's house, with the Eye of London behind it. I don't remember what that was called, but one of my goals was to take a silly picture with a guard, and I got to do that. Got to give a thumbs up. I smell something burning. Nothing was burning. I don't know what it was. I think somebody outside was doing something. Wouldn't you have loved it? Wouldn't you have loved it if I just ended the video there? I would have confused all of you. Ha! I also choked on water while the camera was off. But, yes. I got to take a silly picture with the guard. Got to take a silly picture next to his guard's horse. Jesse got licked by the horse. Jesse got some tongue. Horse tongue. Oh, one of my goals was to see police officers on horses. And to hear horse. You guys are learning all sorts of things about me today, but one of my favorite sounds is the sound of horse hooves on cobblestone. And I got to hear horse hooves on, like, ancient cobblestone. It was glorious. The only thing that would have made it better was if I was in a carriage with the horse. It was a fun first. It was all these firsts that I got to check off my list. Hotel rooms. Let's talk about hotel rooms. Even though I'm sure you've already watched the vlogs where all of us have talked about our... Okay, I'm going to turn you off. Where all of us have talked about our hotel rooms. But, okay. This is a thing in England. I didn't know this was a thing. But when I showered, and it was a nice shower, I got out, and the towel rack was heated. That was the best coming out of a shower that I've ever experienced. It was amazing. A warm towel after a warm shower. The cold air didn't hit me. I was just wrapped in warmth. It was fantastic. I did not know that's a thing. That's a thing. And it was so awesome. There was also heated mirror, which is the only mirror that doesn't fog up when you get out of the shower, making it very easy to get stuff done in the bathroom. Because the mirror is done. By stuff, I mean like blow drying and straightening hair and such like that. Other stuff can be done without the fogged up mirror. So that was super cool. And I think my favorite hotel room that we stayed in was the one in London. Just because we stayed there the longest, it was also the nicest. and the mirrors everywhere was a little strange. But you got to hit a button next to your bed, and lights turned on and off. I did that hand motion wrong. Do not disturb sign was a button. No more paper up in this house. It's all buttons. That was really cool. Bed was really comfy. TV was great. They laid out slippers. We had afternoon tea. That was another first. Afternoon tea, which, let's talk about food. I know we were going to talk about hotel rooms, but the other two were fine. They were very old-fashioned and very historic and cool to see. They were neat, especially the Abbey Hotel in Bath was really cool. It used to be a Roman building, which was awesome. Romans were probably naked there at one point. Think about that. So yes, hotels were fantastic. Dodger is an amazing roommate. That was really fun. I'd never shared a bed with her before. So that was great. She was not a cover hog, which was fantastic because I'm a cover hog. So it worked out. Just rooming with her was really, really fun just because we had never shared a room in our 3 years of friendship. I don't think we've ever traveled together in our 3 years of friendship. I don't think that's ever been a thing. So this was really fun. Her and Jessie are both, you guys, they are both two of the best people I've ever met. And they were definitely two of the best travel partners I ever could have hoped for on this trip. Jessie just was so great. He set the whole thing up. Like, I didn't have to worry about anything. Like, Dodger and I didn't have to worry about majority of anything because he took care of all of it because he's awesome. I hate you, Jessie. So each day we maybe had one thing we really wanted to see, but for the most part, we were very, very open. All of us are very laid back people, and we knew what we wanted to accomplish, but we didn't... Shake it good. But we really didn't have any set in stone plans. And so we were very go with the flow. And if we wanted to take a break, we went back to the hotel room and hung out. And like hanging out with one another was just as good as going out and doing things. And so it was really, really fun. I think there were times where Jessie got a little annoyed with Dodger and I just because he would be humming nicely to himself. And then Dodger and I would hear the song he was humming, and we would full out sing it in a chorus of beautiful greatness that he could not appreciate. He got very mad that we were destroying his humming to himself, even though it's his fault for humming. Yes, Jessie, calling you out. Your fault. But he was still really fun. He was just hilarious. Jesse Cox is a funny man. I had never hung out very much with him beforehand. You are making all sorts of noise. Dickie has long nails. He needs to get them cut. He has very long nails right now, and they make all sorts of tippity-tappities on the wooden floor. But yeah, I had never hung out with Jesse Cox for a very extended period of time, more than like dinner or just like a live stream or something. I hadn't hung out with him for very long. So getting to spend that much time with him was awesome. Got to know him a little bit better. He has the greatest stories. Spending time with more time with Dodger was awesome. She's my monkey twin. She's my monkey friend. I love her. My monkey bestie. She's just a great person. I just adore her so much. I'm so happy that we went on that trip. I'm so happy I went on the trip with those two, just because it was great. I loved it so much. I missed it already. It's great to be home, but I really miss it. What else? Underground. Okay, I want to talk about the Underground. I'm wearing Mind the Gap shirt. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, there are deodorant stains on there, whatever. Here. Mind the Gap. It's much bigger than I was expecting it to be. It's small, but it goes down to like mid-thigh, which is fine. Mind the Gap. Mind the Gap. That's my English accent. Apparently being in England did not help the English accent at all. But I've loved the Underground. I've never been on a subway before at all. I've never been to New York City. I've never been on the one here. Lincoln does not have a subway. What are you doing? What's happening? Lincoln, Nebraska does not have a subway. So I've never been on anything like that. So that was a huge experience. And it was so relaxing. I loved it. It was one of my favorite parts of the trip. I could just imagine being on a train for like 45 minutes, not a train, on the underground for like 45 minutes to going from destination to destination and like just reading, relaxing, listening to the noise. It's just, everyone kept to themselves. It's just a very relaxing thing to me. Maybe if I experienced it every single day, it wouldn't be the same. But we took it quite a bit while we were in London, especially in the later, like the last day we were there. We did it quite a bit. And I loved it every single time. And so I really wanted this shirt because I loved it when they said that. And I know Dodger did too. And I wasn't going to get this because at every single shop in London I went to that had it, it was really expensive. It was like 25 pounds for it, which with the exchange rate is more money than I'm willing to spend on a t-shirt. But I found it at the airport, and it was 2 t-shirts for 22 pounds, which to me, it was a great deal. It was a great deal. So I got one for my my bestie Allison, and then I got this one for myself. So yeah, the underground was awesome. I really liked experiencing that. The bullet trains. They are bullet trains, right? That take you from city to city. Or are they just regular trains? I'm going to call them bullet trains. If that's wrong, I'm sure you guys will let me know. Bullet trains were really fun as well. I had been on a train before. That was not a first, sadly. But David and I went on one for our honeymoon. So I'd been on one before, but I'd never been on one in England. So that is a first, though the train is not a first. What am I trying to say? What is going on? Oh, okay. Dodger thought it was hilarious because when those trains pass each other and you are staring at the window at some nice sheep babies and that thing just appears, it is what the Winchester effing terrifying. It is so scary. And every single time I would just turn to her looking so terrified. She thought it was hilarious. But that was really crazy, just watching those. They go so fast. They're like bullets. They are quick. Trains were great. Architecture, I've obviously touched on. Underground. Baker Street, the Sherlock Museum was really fun. I am nowhere near as big of a Sherlock fan as Dodger is. I think it's really great, but I've only seen the first season of the BBC Sherlock. Because I'm a really bad person, Dodger yells at me all the time about it. But she hasn't read the rest of Croak and Alaska yet, so it's whatever. And so I'm not as big of a Sherlock fan as she is, but it was really cool to see her so happy getting to go there. She was so excited. It was really cool to see her that ecstatic. So I'm glad that we got to do that. I also got to see my my aunt, uncle, and my baby cousin Zoe in Dodger's second London day video where we actually go to the museum. The guy who explains that the numbering on the houses is off is my Uncle Tony. And the little baby strapped to his back, staring into your soul, looking very, very unamused, is my little baby cousin Zoe. So that was really cool. Getting to see them. Sherlock Museum was fantastic. Though I broke my mug. It was so sad. So what happened was I had a really cute Sherlock mug. I can go get it and show it to you guys. I probably won't because I'm lazy. But I had a really cute Sherlock mug that I got from the Sherlock Museum. It was the only thing I was going to buy myself except this shirt. It was the only thing I'd gotten for myself. And we went to Tower Hill. Oh, Tower Hill. What am I thinking? I need to talk about that. We went to Tower Hill, and it was perfect timing, really. We were walking into the torture section of Tower Hill, and I had my gloves on, and my hand had gotten really warm because we'd finally gotten inside somewhere. And I also had the bag around my wrist, which was on the glove, and so I just yanked the glove off, and the bag came with it, and just right on the ground. It was so sad. Dodger said I just got progressively sadder and sadder as I was in the line, which was bummed because I really was excited for the torture section because that stuff is really cool to me. And so I still enjoyed it, but I had this shattered mug with my hopes and dreams on it in my palm. But Dodger, like I said, is fantastic, and she got me a new one. She was a sweetie. She got me a new one, so I will be able to represent the Sherlock pride because she is freaking amazing, the best person ever. So yeah, broke my mug. Tower Hill Castle. It was a castle. I have never seen a castle before in my life, and getting to see one that isn't just a Disneyland fakie was awesome. Really cool. Castles are amazing to me. Speaking of, can you guys do a counter how many times I talk about buildings in this vlog? But the coffee doesn't taste very good. It was so neat because it has the outside wall with the walk-up bridge that you have to go into the castle, and the castle is like a tiny little city. It's not just one building. There's the giant wall that has the steps up and the things that would look down on people that were enemies coming to attack, and I'm imagining there was archers up there. And there was a statue of a polar bear that represented a polar bear that was given to one of the kings, which was really interesting. They keep ravens there because there's some history behind that, but like I said, I don't remember it. There's a history about the raven thing. There was the windy staircase up one of the towers, like tower things of the castle, which was really cool. Getting to see, I love the, like how the windows aren't glass. They're just holes in the stone. That's so neat. The whole thing, I think one of the reasons that it made me super excited is being in the castle, being at Tower Hill, reminded me of Ever After. And that is one of my favorite movies. I just love the scenery in Ever After and just the idea of being in a castle in that day and age. And just, it was so cool. Torches. They had torches back then to light things up because they didn't have electricity. And that would have been so neat. This vlog is just going to make me sound like I'm just the most uninteresting person in the world. But that was super awesome, getting to be in that castle. And then you walk out. Like I said, it's like a little village. There had to be so much happening in there. So many people. What kind of people walked in and out of there? What kind of children got to play there? I don't know, man. I don't know. And just all of the buildings in that area were really cool. The bridge was really awesome. There's this really neat, I don't remember what it's called. My uncle told me what it was called, but I don't remember. It was this really tall building that I called my Gurren Lagann drill because it looked like a drill from Gurren Lagann. It was big and black and came to a tip and windy. It looked like a drill, a swirled, or a tip of an ice cream cone. Coffee. I'm only remembering this because we went to a Costa that is right outside Tower Hill, and we were all so sad because there was no room to sit, and we ordered our coffee to stay, and then we were all sad because there was nowhere to sit, so we had to get it to go, and I felt bad for the baristas because we made them put our coffee in the new cups. I felt really bad, but they were really sweet and did it. Thank you, man. Coffee was really good. I think Costa was my favorite because they had ice drinks, and their ice drinks were delicious. Next was Cafe Nero. I don't know if Cafe Nero had ice drinks. We only went to Cafe Nero once, and that was the very first night we got there. And it was a little chilly at that point in the evening, and I wanted a hot drink. And also I forgot to ask for ice, but it's fine. So Costa, number 1, Cafe Nero, number 2, Pret. Pret had good coffee. I don't think they were number 3, though. What was my number 3? was Pret because they didn't have iced, which is why they're number 3. They're hot. I mean, it was fine, but Costa was the best, though. I was thinking today about how upset I am that I did not buy any to go to bring back with me. Maybe I'll text Dodger and ask her to buy me some, and I'll pay her back. But yeah, that coffee was delicious. It's a little bit more, I've noticed that I'm much more of a person, coffee purist, y'all gonna hate me. I am a person who likes flavor in my coffee. I'm not too big of a black coffee drinker. But I noticed that I really liked theirs because it was a really good blend of the flavoring, but a little bit more of the stronger coffee taste, which I actually really liked. They blended it very well. So I actually very much prefer the English coffee places over like a Starbucks or something. Starbucks, I still love you so much. I still really love you, but I definitely preferred that over Starbucks. Thought it was very, very delicious. I love it so much. A custard! We're talking about food. Cafes, you brought me into this. Okay, we had afternoon tea, which was an amazingly awesome experience. They brought it into our hotel room, and there were little biscuits. There was these amazing, like, honey rolls, I think it was. Amazing little desserts. I don't even know what half of it was. I don't remember what half of it was, but it was all so good. And I love the way y'all prepare your tea. The English way of tea, superb. I don't usually put milk in my tea. I don't know if it was also just the tea, but it was so good. I loved it. 2 brown sugar cubes. It was perfect. So that was really neat to get to do. Very delicious, which also just led me to my discovery of how much I love custard. Horrible for me. I'm allergic to dairy. So I ate way too much custard than was healthy for me. I was just like, I need more biscuits because this custard is amazing. I just could not stop. Everything got dipped into the custard. Everything got dipped into the custard. It was so good. I'd never had custard before. And that was amazing. English. Y'all custard? It's delicious. I mean, I regretted it later because I'm not lactose intolerant, but I do have a dairy allergy. And so my skin has just been really itchy. I eat way too much dairy in England as it is, so my skin has been really mad at me since I got back, which is why I've been itching like a crazy person. But custard, you are so good. I got a Krispy Kreme custard and chocolate donut before I left. Some people at the meetup, which I'll talk about in a little bit, recommended that I have one of those, and it was delicious. Yeah, custard is superb. Y'all's tea is amazing. Your food is so good. Full English breakfast. I have to admit, I did not get the full English breakfast because it said baked beans, and I got that mixed up with refried beans. I know. And I don't like refried beans. I hate them. I love like barbecue beans. I call them pork and beans. Because I put hot dogs in them. That's what I call them. So that's what I know them as. And so when Jesse and Dodger got their English breakfast, and it was this delicious looking things, beans and toast, I was so jealous. I got Eggs Benedict with homemade hollandaise sauce. I went up to the counter and ordered it, and she was like, it's going to be a little bit because I haven't made the hollandaise sauce yet. And I was just like, what? You are going to make it? That's okay if you're going to take a while. If you are making that, it's fine. And it's really good. But I did regret not getting the full English breakfast just because the toast and the beans and toast was really good, and the grilled tomatoes, all of it just looked amazing. I learned how much I love cider. I had never had cider before going to England. I'm not too much of a drinker. I have medicine that I'm like not supposed to drink on anyway. Like I think I can drink like a little bit. It's just not advised because it'll make me sleep for a really long time. And so I'm not too big of a drinker, and I don't know even if they have very many good cider places over here in America. So I'd never had it before, and I can't drink mead, so I can't drink mead or beer or ale. Is that the same thing? But I can't drink those because I'm allergic to them. So cider was a really good alternative. It was delicious, you guys. It was amazing. I had pear, and I had apple, and I had berries, strawberry. I think it was strawberry. Dodger and I shared a lot of it. We did a lot of food sharing. It's our thing now to order 2 different drinks that we both really want, because we have very similar taste on a lot of things. And so we would each order a drink and then we would just split it. It was very convenient. So it was all very good. Cider is my jam now. Cider is delicious. The Hobbit meetup was so amazing. Hobbit meetup, that's wrong. It was at this pub called The Hobbit in Southampton, which is so funny. Every single time somebody would ask us what we were doing next and we would say we're going to Southampton, they would just give us this look. Why? They were all so confused. Even the taxi driver asked us where we were going and we told him Southampton and he was just like, what are you doing? It's really, guys, I can't do an English accent. So, but the only reason we went to Southampton was so that Jesse could have the fan meetup at this Hobbit bar. And it was a very good choice. They were awesome. The Hobbit, everybody that worked there was just so cool and chill about us having it there. And they even gave us free t-shirts. Hobbit bar, pub. You are awesome. You are cool. The whole fan meetup thing was surreal as shiny balls. It was crazy. I know the majority of people like weren't there for me, but they did like recognize me from like Dodgers vlogs and stuff, and it was just so crazy. I just can't believe that's a thing. Y'all are so awesome and cool. Everyone that made it out. It was awesome getting to talk to you. It was awesome getting to meet you. And just to see how many supportive people there are that watch Dodger and Jesse and I on YouTube is just really surreal. It was really humbling. Signing autographs, I did not expect anybody to ask me to sign anything. And so I didn't have a signature prepared. I mean, I have my full name one that I sign for checks and things, but I didn't really want to put that on there. So I had to make one up on the spot, and so it was a lot of swoopies I had to put in there, and I spelled my name wrong numerous times. I felt so bad. HappiLeeErin was a name I had that night, but that was really crazy. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Yeah. There's great video of us doing karaoke on there. Jesse was hilarious. Jesse Cox, like I've said, is hilarious. He's amazing. He licked me way too much, though. Jesse, I had way too much of your saliva all over me. But he licked a lot of people. I'm just remembering all of it and getting so sad that I'm not there anymore. I just wish it was still happening. It was not long enough. There was not enough London, not enough Bath, not enough Bristol, not enough North. I'm really bummed now that I did not get to go. Like, it was my choice not to go to GemuCon, just because I didn't want to miss more work. I missed like a week of it, and with Remag and stuff, like Remag is a really hefty daily show, so I felt really bad kind of leaving Jeff and Teas, who are the other 2 TGS editors, behind with that. So I didn't want to miss any more work. But I would have loved to get to go to Nottingham and meet more of you guys, because the meetup was just so much fun. All of you that came out for that was great. I wish I could have gone to Nottingham next year. I think I'm going to plan to go next year if like Jesse and other people, and if they'll have me, I would love to get to go next year. So yeah, bummed that I'm not there still, but it was fantastic. Let's see, is there anything else I haven't talked about yet? I feel like there has to have been, just because I had so much. Chesney! Let's talk about Chesney really quick. Another awesome Jesse story. So, when we were going to Stonehenge, Jesse set it up. He called the tour people that take us to Stonehenge, And, my puppy's being adorable. And when we went out waiting for the buses, we gave them our name. Jessie said, my name's Jessie, and we have 3 people in our party. And the guy was like, your name's not on the list. And we're like, oh no, I want to go see Stonehenge. And then the guy called the main office, and apparently when the lady had a very thick accent, and so when the guy was writing down the names of the people that would be going that day, he'd heard Jessie as Chesney. And so he wrote down Chesney. And from then on out, we started calling Jessie Chesney when he was mean. He was using, whenever he said something mean and was just horrible to Dodger or I, we were like, Chesney, you need to not be so mean, Chesney. Let Jessie go. He even developed a voice for it. Sometimes the line blurred. We didn't know if it was Jessie or Chesney. It was a great memory. And then the Yogscast started calling him that. We got dinner with the Yogscast in Bristol, which was really fun. I didn't get to see Lewis at all. I got to give Simon a big ol' hug. Guy gives the best hugs. It's the greatest. When Dodger and Jessie went and hung out with them, I wasn't feeling too good, so I stayed back in the hotel room. And they went and that, but I did get to go to dinner and see them, which was really, really fun. Something I forgot to mention, which is, I'm filming this later than it was original, because you can probably tell that I cut, because there's no dogs in the background anymore. I want to mention really quick that when I was talking about Yogscast is that I got to meet so many of them that I had never met before, like Sam, some of the members of Area 11, a lot of people, I don't remember your names, but you were fantastic. Martin from In the Littlewood and Katie. I'd never met them before, and they were so cool. We got to have awesome anime discussions, like really in-depth anime discussions that we all got really passionate about, and Jessie did not understand. I got so into it that I didn't even notice Dodger ate all my fries. I was really into it. But it was really fun. I got to hang out with them, and I just wanted to say really quick that it was awesome meeting them. I can't believe I forgot about that earlier. But yeah, they were awesome people. I'm really bummed I didn't get to hang out with them more, but they were fantastic. Wait, what? Oh, I thought I deleted my list of things I wanted to talk about. I wrote a list of things I want to talk about because I knew this brain would not remember while I'm talking. And I've gotten like an hour video out of this. This is really bad. Fan meetup. Still really awesome. Thank you all. You're all so great. Yeah, it looks like I got everything. I feel like I'm going to shut this off and be done and then not have touched on all I wanted to say. Was there anything else? I don't think so. It was so much fun. It's good to be home though. The plane ride out there, it was a lot easier just because I slept for majority of the time on there. Plane ride back, I only slept for like an hour or 2. There was no one on that flight though. There were hardly anybody. And so I was able to commandeer 2 seats and just lay down and stretch out and listen to music and watch movies. And somehow, when I was sleeping, there's a pillow on every single seat. So I had 2 pillows anyway, just because I had taken over 2 seats. But somehow, in my sleep...
Why are you growling? Stop. You're such a jerk to your brother.
Somehow in my sleep, I had acquired 2 more pillows. I don't know where they came from. I don't know if they were given to me while I was sleeping or if I sleepwalked and grabbed them. But I woke up, I had one behind my head. I had one under my back to not hurt my back on the post or the armrest. And then 2 more. One I woke up was on my face and one I was just clinging to it. I don't know. It was a mystery. But yeah, there was nobody on that flight, which was crazy to me, considering the flight out there had so many people. But it was still really nice because it was really relaxing, not feeling stressed out, and like they feed you so much on that. It's cray cray.
You are such an old man. Stop being a grump. Dickie, you're okay. You're cute. You're cute too, but you're being grumpy. Stop it, old man.
Yeah, so they feed you so much. So I ate, I slept, and I watched movies. Watched Jingle and Pitch Perfect. Not that it matters. But, yeah, so flight was great. They were awesome. I'm very jet lagged today. I fell asleep at like 2 o'clock this morning, LA time, and then woke up at 6 o'clock. So I didn't get very much sleep, but I think it's just my schedule is evening out. Overall, my very first experience out of the country was fantastic. I would not have changed anything about it. I went with the best people. I had the best time. I saw beautiful things that I really didn't think I would probably see in my lifetime, just because I never make an effort to travel very much. But now it's like awakened a thirst in me. I want to travel everywhere now. So it was awesome getting to see that stuff, and it's great memories. Laughed a lot. Laughed so much. It was a great experience. Lots of firsts that have now happened that I'm always going to remember. It was great. I loved it a lot. So first time out of the country, first time in a different place that I'd never been that is out of the country. It's fantastic. I loved it. It was amazing. I hope you guys liked this vlog. I'm sorry that it's so long. I'm gonna have to go and cut some stuff out just because it's ridiculously long and I'm not that interesting. So I'm sure nobody's even watched this far, watched through this entire thing. But if you did, thank you so much for doing that. If you came here from Jesse and Dodger's channel, thank you so much again. I hope you enjoy your stay and look forward to lots of anime things. If you do not follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, or anything, I have those. I'll leave the links down below. Twitter, I did a lot of tweeting when I had Wi-Fi there. Otherwise, I didn't have very much internet, which is totally fine because it was nice not having to worry about my phone. Yeah, I'll leave links down below for that. You can check out a lot of pictures and tweets and stuff from the trip. A lot of shenanigan conversations happening. I apologize again for pronouncing a lot of places and food items and things wrong and for being that obnoxious American tourist. I don't regret it, but I will apologize for it in case any of you were offended. I love you all. Thank you guys so much for watching this, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye! That was one of the many songs that Dodger and I sang while on this trip. We pretty much wrote a musical. That and Defying Gravity and Fantastic Baby. What was another one? Ninja Sex Party. Those were our jams on this trip.